Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayers, because we really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we going through, we know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you. But I just want to fall on you. So the powers you waiting and to play with. I raise my children up to say the same shit. Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayers, because we really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we going through, we know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you. But I just want to fall on you, to show the devils you ain't and to play with. I raise my children up to say the same shit. Yeah. Go ahead. Come on, West. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Look, I keep it low to the T. UBK play for kings. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweet. This a whole nother way. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Go ahead. This shit is too easy. I'm on go, but they don't believe me. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming Vinny, 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 Vision. Hear them devils screaming out bloody murder. I'm about to close the curtain. Mama grind, bitch, and work. Sorry, all them lines, it ain't working. Them niggas weak, they be church. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. They cross the line, I'ma back up and I'ma hit his ass with his virus. And I come through 300 strong, 144 Leonidas. All my niggas we eat. I'm in this bitch with the itis. Say all y'all do the street. Tell y'all do the street. The nigga made the wrong move when he make his ass out the league. He ain't one of us hit the league. He ain't one of us here preach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Go ahead. I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. You see this look that's on my face, bitch? I'm for real with it. I hit the streets, but on my cleats was in the field with it. You soft as cotton, just an actor, Uncle Phil with it. And then my targets on the move, but I can still hit it. Hey, I speak true cause it's necessary. Color Jack revolutionary. Cold on them like January. Commander General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Your preacher man, he's sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's war time for peace. Think you hard, nigga, you ain't. Fuck with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we can't. We form up in ranks. We buy the bad, this rap shit. All black, no bright shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on them, that's cap shit. I can't on to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother way. Tell them get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Go ahead.
Goodbye.
Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayers, because we really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we going through, We know that you real, so can you fall? Yeah. 140 yeah. But the rest get to it, ain't taking no slack, get to it. You take a loss, try to bounce back, but you blew it. Let me show you how to do it. Undisputed, I can prove it. Boom, we can do it. Nigga, ain't nothing to it. Ain't no cowards, ain't no excuses. Let's get to it. Hey. I don't care what they talking. All I want is my Porsche. I'ma ride up clean. Look at me. I'm a false. Kill them off like a boss. Nigga, you better stop it. I'm all about my profit. I'm shooting off like a rocket. Who got to blow these niggas out the water? He go hard and go harder. Steph Curry, fourth quarter. All I got is my niggas. All I fear is my father. All I bring is that slaughter. Bomb on the Pearl Harbor. He ain't real, he alive. If he real, who am I? Now his ass in the fire. Yippee-ki till I die. Please don't cross the line. Try to stop and stop trying. Boom, sharp as barbed wire. I'm on the grind. Let's get to it. Double time and believe. You ain't harming me, nigga. I brought a whole army of niggas. So I ain't move with precision. Follow every order given. Let's get to it. Nigga, let's get to it. Ain't taking no shit. Get to it. You take a loss, try to bounce back, but you blew it. Let me show you how to do it. Undisputed, I can prove it. One, we can do it. Nigga, ain't nothing to it. Ain't no cows, ain't no excuses. Let's get to it. You hear the truth that I'm speaking? A lot of hate for no reason. Probably don't understand. That's why I got the master plan. And all the power in my hand. Sling the shit on demand. You better watch where you stand. You get flamed up and ain't changing up for nobody. They're warfare, what you know about it? This ain't a rap, this a message. Ain't a real, be respected. Fake niggas like a virus. A lot of niggas infected. I came to correct it. Bought a whole bunch of soldiers. They move at my discretion. When the rebels in the engine, all the niggas hit the exit. Them niggas get the sprint. I demand your attention. Solid nigga, I ain't folding. Plus you know a nigga hold it. Nigga, look how I'm rolling. Shorty check my demeanor. He's smooth, but I'm cleaner. Flow like Aquafina. Hit him running Seraphina. Hold up. Yeah. I gotta deliver. I'm about to have a baby, but I still wanna baby. Let's get to it. Nothing comes to a dream. I'm strictly dead. I'm all about the business. Rock solid and relentless. You came to make friends. I came to make a killing. That's why I'm gonna kill it. Leave these niggas hurting. That's why I'm fishing, nigga. You need a healing. I know you can hear me. I'm a bet you a rookie. And Kanye, you a Donald Trump loving pussy. I'm a king, you a cook. Ain't nothing you can tell me. I'm too ready. Let's get to it.
All right, we go ahead again. Be the Isupk. Start out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. We are not affiliated with no other Hebrew Israelite group. You understand? And we, the priests and prophets in this school that you see all around the world, you understand, has been ordered to go and teach the truth about these scriptures, man, and to go free blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians from that witchcraft, man, called Christianity, man. That's right. You understand? Christianity has a hold on the minds of blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, man. And that hold is so powerful and so strong that we can't even see past, you understand, a clear and evident enemy that has been you understand, an oppressor to black people for 400 years here in America. You understand? That is how strong the grip of Christianity is on the minds of blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, man. You understand? But through the work of the Most High, man, and through the leadership of Commander General Yohana, you understand, these priests and prophets, you understand, like myself, go out into these streets and dive into these records, man, and uncover the truth about how it is that black people should be living, about who we are as a nation of people, how we should treat one another, you understand, as it pertains to the scriptures, man. You understand? And we're going to go into a topic today that's a very heavy topic. You understand? I seen a video earlier today of Kyle Rittenhouse. You understand? For those of y'all who don't know, Kyle Rittenhouse is a Edomite white male, you understand, who went out to a Black Lives Matter protest, and then you understand he claimed that he went out there to protect a car dealership. However, he started murdering people away from the car dealership. You understand? So of course, it was a big situation as far as his trial and whether or not he was going to be convicted for murdering those. I think he murdered with 2 people and injured another person. You understand? But of course, after his trial, he was, you understand, he was found not guilty on all the charges, and now Kyle Rittenhouse has become a celebrity for America. You understand? I forget the name of the show that I seen it on, but they had him coming out like he was America's Got Talent, like he was the next best superstar for white people. I don't know what you want even call it, right? But here's the thing, and I'm just touch on it a little bit, and then we're gonna go if anybody got any questions or any comments they have, or they want to anything they want to bring out or talk about in the room or online, then y'all can just go ahead and understand we can get into it like that. But here's the thing that we got to understand dealing with the Rittenhouse situation. America has never loved Black people. You understand? And so even though, because if I'm not mistaken, I think the victims of this particular incident were actually white people. Yeah. They were white. You understand? But here's the thing. It's not that they were just white people. The reason why Kyle Rittenhouse isn't being convicted and the reason why people are loving this man and making him to be a star is because Kyle Rittenhouse didn't just go and just shoot white people. Right. You understand? He was at a Black Lives Matter protest, which, of course, you understand, if those who don't know what that is, it's some LBGT organization that started itself so that they can go and, quote unquote, fight for rights for Black people and protest against police brutality. However, with that notion, of course, they do a terrible job of it, right? But with that notion in play, you understand, from what they're supposed to be doing, which is defending Black people, for these white people to be out there, and I'm speaking of the victims, for them to be out there protesting with these people who are going against police brutality, for these people who are chanting to defund the police, to change the mayors, to change the senators and the congressmen and the presidents if it has to go that far, but to try to invoke change amongst the infrastructure of America, and which America thinks is great. You understand? For those white people to be out there amongst those, that made them nothing more than nigger lovers to America's judicial system, man. It made them nothing more than a nigger lover, someone who is looked down upon because they are wanting to love another race of people more so than their own, which goes to tell you what, and it should show you something, that our oppressor knows what it means to love himself and his race of people and not to love anybody else. That's right. You understand? I didn't come up with the term nigger lover. That's right. That is a term that our oppressor has used for 400 years here in America. And that term is used for people for oppressor people, right, are the so-called white man who wants to help aid the what you call it, the minorities, who want to aid the slaves and help them run away and make it to the north and whatever, or sleep with them, want to marry into their families and things like that. They would be called nigger lover even back then. So that just goes to show you that shows you how much hate our oppressor has for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, where you can't even help them protest. You can't even help them. And it goes back. I remember a movie, not a movie, but the show Oz. I mentioned this show before, but there was a particular part in which I think what was they? The skinheads, the Aryan Nation, right? The Aryan Nation, they're to be an Aryan, right? You have to be pure blood. They're nobles, right? They're nothing on you can be tainted or tarnished with any other culture or any kind of race or ethnicity. And there was a part in where one of the Aryan dudes had got, I don't know if he got in a fight or no, he didn't take care of his teeth. So I think he had like a bad case of gingivitis and just all kinds of just stuff going on in his mouth to the point we had to have a gum transplant. And the doctor was an Indian man. And the dude was just, he was a grade A hole, and he's just talking trash to the doctor. Don't touch me without gloves on, this, that, and the third. So the Indian man, he went ahead and he got the gums from a black donor. He got black gums, and he implanted the gums into the Aryans, you understand, for the surgery to replace his gums. And the Aryan nation kicked him out of the whole Brotherhood because his gums, he got a black transplant of gums. And it was so bad to the point that this dude, I think he got like some kind of drug, some made up prison drugs, right, to try to numb his gums. And in the middle of the night, all you hear is him screaming because he's trying to scrape the black gums from out of his mouth. You understand? Of course, it didn't work. And of course, to them, once those gums hit his mouth, black was in his bloodstream, right? Now, that's an extreme example.
Right.
Possibly. It's possibly actually real. Actually, I believe it's more real than not. But, however, that type of hatred to not even be associated with black people is it's been here for 400 years and it's still here today. And the love that they have for Kyle Rittenhouse is the proof of how much they hate you. And not even Kyle Rittenhouse alone. Who else is a Christian superhero or American superstar because he's a murderer? George Zimmerman.
That's right.
George Zimmerman is a superstar because he murdered Trayvon Martin, man. You understand? And so, with that being said, for us to go back into the Christian church on Sunday, right, is one or two things. For one, black people shouldn't be mad at Kyle Rittenhouse. You shouldn't have nothing to say. You understand? Well, let me rephrase that. Christians should not have a problem with Kyle Rittenhouse because Christianity teaches you what? That you got to forgive. That if somebody smacks you on the cheek, you got to do what? You got to turn the other cheek, sis, right? I mean, you walk out of here. You go into this sis right here, goes into the Asian beauty supply store, and she's going in there to get, I don't know, what do women get? What do sisters get from the beauty supply store? Yaki B12? What Albert Hall used to say? Yaki B12? Cocoa butter. I don't know. Cocoa butter. You're going into the store to get cocoa butter, and the Korean man just smacks you on the cheek as soon as you walk through the door. You're supposed to do what? Christianity teaches what? Turn the other cheek, smack this one. You understand? Which is nonsense. Of course, no sister in America would ever do that unless. Good night. What you about to say, sis?
I said la.
Yeah, la, right? Yeah, it ain't happening. But of course, that would go against Christianity. So Christians can't have a problem with Kyle Rittenhouse. You can't have a problem with white Americans screaming for Kyle Rittenhouse like he's Chris Brown. Why would you be mad? Let the boy have his fame, his stardom. He represents the American dream. He is Uncle Sam times two, I guess. I don't know. He's Captain America, Kyle Rittenhouse, because he went against the Black Lives Matter movement, and he is a racist devil, you understand, who has a hunger to kill any goddamn body. And, of course, he exercises his right to be a white man. You understand? So there should be no problem there. What you about to say?
Sluggy, if I may, sir. Correct if I'm wrong, but I think if you could, to be clear, you talking specifically about black Christians, right? Because oppressor Christians, they know what time it is. There's no, they talk about turning the other cheek, but oppressor Christians are the same people who push for Donald Trump to build a wall,
Right.
For us to go to war with a bunch of Afghans who really didn't do anything.
Right.
So the version of Christianity that oppressors believe in is violent as I don't know what. It's black Christians who got this version that like, okay, I can't defend myself. So,
Right. And really, yeah. And when I'm referring to Christians, I do mean, of course, blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians who practice Christianity.
Concept.
You understand? But that mentality is a Christian mentality. And how can you get justice from Kyle Rittenhouse with that mentality? How can you get justice from George Zimmerman with that mentality when all you've ever learned in the Christian church is that God loves everybody? If God loves everybody, God loves George Zimmerman. If God loves everybody, God loves that white woman who got Emmett Till mutilated. If God loves everybody, then God should love Osama bin Laden. Of course, America won't go for that. You understand? Man, but that's the topic of the day, man. But if anybody got any questions or comments online, go ahead and start typing the questions in the chat.
Some comments. Sir.
Kind of what we got?
No questions.
We got some comments on Facebook. Shalom, y'all small thought Shimi Awashah. Kind of Most High in Crisis. What we got online? Any questions in the room? Any comments? Any topics? Any events y'all want to talk about? Anything? What you guys says? Shalom. What's going on?
You got to turn once. Just press it once. You don't got to hold it. Just press it.
I'm good, sir. I just want to thank y'all, each and every last one of y'all brothers and the sisters in the truth. As much things that I've been through for the last couple of months, y'all have not only showed out and showed up for me, but like, it's like it, sir. Your dad, even our rock, he kept telling me, come to class. I came to class, and when I came in this truth, I wasn't expecting. I found a family that would embrace me in the way that y'all did.
Most High in Christ.
And I have loved every second of being around y'all. I look forward to being around y'all. Y'all are my brothers and my sisters for real. And I just want to say to Wada, y'all mean more to me than you know.
Damn right.
You mean more to me than you know.
Damn right. We heard that. You understand? That's just been coming in here for the longest. I can't even remember how long it's been, man. But definitely it's a strong, diligent sister in the truth, man. You understand? But Salaki, I seen a comment. Hold on one second.
Oh, we got one over here too.
All right, go ahead.
No,
Yeah, definitely a strong sister in the truth. And the water for you too, sis. Most High in Christ.
This is from Trooper Maya Shaw. Trooper Maya Shaw says, Salakia, if I could, sir, it's a question about, things going on and everything. He said that sodomite Kevin Samuels is in the news trying to further divide Black and Hispanic women by telling Black women that their competition for Black men is Latina women. Good night.
I would better step it up. Good night. Salaki. Who was campus? That's the brother. That's the brother who all the women go to about relationship.
Go to for him to yell at them about how.
Yeah, I never understood if he's always yelling at you, then why they go to him. But no sweat. But the answer to the question, I guess, man, is that brother is an idiot. You understand? Any brother who thinks he has knowledge of how Blacks, Hispanic, or Native American Indian women should carry themselves, you understand? And this place that we living in now, if they not coming from the ISUPK, or if they words ain't coming out of this, if they not in the ISUPK, then they don't know what the hell they talking about.
That's right.
You understand? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians should not be thinking of each other as competition. See, what he doesn't understand is that he is going to destroy Black and Latino women by giving them that kind of mindset. What he's going to do is cause chaos in every goddamn club in America, because he's going to have Black women looking at Latino women as if they're the enemy. You understand? The competition that Black and Latino women have with anything is celebrating Christmas. That's the competition that they have to overcome. That's the battle that they have to defeat. You understand? Or win or conquer. You understand? Not fighting each other, man. With Kevin, what's his name? Kevin Samuels. Samuels is planting the seed of jealousy, man, in the hearts and minds of Blacks, Hispanic, and Native American Indian women, man. And that's just disgusting, man. To hell with whatever he talking about. Sis, what you got?
Salakia, sir, I don't know that man. Every time I see him is because he done said something stupid and somebody has something to rebut it. That being the case, he does sound like a damn sodomite. Because he does sound like he hates women.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He does. I don't know. It is what it is. That being the case, like, our sisters in the truth is to wild. Like, I ain't never met anybody in the truth that ain't been to wild, whether they be Black, Hispanic, or Native American. And all of us got a whole lot of stuff mixed up anyway. So that dude right there, like, I think he's just one of the parts of the puzzle that they try to damn piece in to make us go astray. I think he's just a part of that shit. Salakia, sorry. Um, I think he's a part of their plan,
God.
and that being the case, he gets two of these, you know,
Let's in Christ.
you know.
Brothers like that, man, they usually just talk again for entertainment purposes, and it's all just it's how he makes his money. He says probably says outlandish things so he can hit hot headlines and things like that. People like him. Here's the thing: why are Latino and Black women listening to him anyway? You understand? That's what the question is. What in the hell makes us think that going to Kevin Samuels is what is going to fix your marriage? You understand? People like Kevin Samuels have been here in America since we've been here. You understand? Just a bunch of idiots who get paid to do the idiotic things that they do, which is why he does it, because he gets to drive a Mercedes Benz to tell Black and Latino women to hate each other. He gets paid. That's how he provides for his family or provides for himself. That's how he drives his Mercedes Benz, is to cause confusion and destruction amongst the nation of Israel, which is that's common. That's common. I mean, who doesn't get paid to destroy us even more? Drug dealers get rich to make us to kill us. You understand? All kinds of politicians and police officers and people in these high places, high social standards, they get paid to be more wicked to their own people rather than to just do a good job. You understand? So that's common, man. I wouldn't even give him no kind of attention at all, man. You understand? And plus, that's a homosexual statement to even make, to say that Black women. You'll never hear me say that y'all competing with one another, because I'm gonna take all of you. I'm gonna have both of you. Ain't no competition between a Latino and a Black woman. Y'all both Tawab. Y'all both coming with me. Let's go. You understand? And we're gonna end it just like that. Competition over. Right? Any other questions? Any other comments?
Nothing online right now, so.
All right, no sweat. If we could, let's go to Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1.
Yeah.
If anybody got any questions, comments throughout, just go ahead and type it in the chat. Raise your hand if you're in the room. Sis, go ahead.
Sir, if I don't know if you know, my father died about 3 weeks ago, and one of the spirits been on my one of the scriptures been on my spirit is Psalms 90.
Mm-hmm.
And if you would, I know this not scripture breakdown tonight, it's Brotherhood.
Mm-hmm.
But if you could, because like it's just been sitting on me, and I've been trying to be a really Tawab sis. I've had like Shabak Wana and Kawiyah, and like I've had a lot of sisters, reach out to me, and the brothers, y'all have been excellent to me.
Mm-hmm.
But if you could, when it comes to Psalms 90, if you wouldn't mind just telling me, what I'm saying, what I'm supposed to be receiving right now, because I think I know. Sometimes I think I know something and I don't know nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'm a little slow.
Is it a specific verse in 90? Or you just chapter?
When it comes to I want to say it's verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
I can look it up, but I want to say it's verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
Start reading.
Yeah, let me see.
This is lucky.
Go ahead and read. Go to Zephaniah 2 and 1 first. So let's get that out the way, sis. We're gonna come right back. For Psalms.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Right. Now this is talking again about Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. We are a nation of people that are a family that have been separated from one another. You understand? And the Lord is ordering us to come back together with one another, meaning that Black people have to come back with Latinos. Latinos have to come back together with Native Americans. You understand? And all of us, you understand, coming together back as the nation of Israel, the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. You understand? Because we are not desired, man, in this place. And if you can't see that with just Cal Rittenhouse or George Zimmerman, or all the police brutality, and all the things that the destruction that's been put on the nation of Israel here in America, then you understand. I don't know what to tell you. In a very, very deep sleep, man. If you can't see that, man, black people have to love one another. Black women and Latino women are not to be fighting against each other.
That's right.
You understand? They are supposed to be coming together, man.
Damn right.
Which is why whatever that dude name is, Kevin Samuels, don't know a goddamn thing about what he's talking about.
That's
man.
right.
He should just learn to shut his mouth.
Damn
just
right.
let the priests teach our sisters on how they should conduct themselves.
That's right.
And how they should live. You understand?
Keep
going.
Verse 2. Before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you. Verse 3. Seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which have brought his judgment.
Yeah, seek ye the Lord, man. You understand? Don't seek out Kevin Samuels.
That's right.
Don't seek out Al Sharpton,
right,
or Stephen A. Smith. Don't seek out these men who get paid to make outlandish comments and to yell on TV for your entertainment, man. Because these people aren't in the business of saving the lives of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
That's right,
man.
Damn right.
Commander General Yohana, his business is to save our lives,
That's
man.
Right.
You understand? By way of the Most High, by the words out of this book, out of this Bible, man. You understand? That's what we should be seeking out. Not who makes you feel good, or what makes you feel good, or what makes you think a certain kind of way, or no prosperity preaching. That's not what black people should be seeking out, man. We should be seeking out how we should live, man. Going into these records and seeing exactly the blueprint of blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, man, and learning how to live amongst that blueprint as God intended for us to do. You understand? And that's it. That's all we should be doing, man. Not listening to none of these idiots, man, who pick up a Bible and then scream out that you're going to get $15,000 if you put money in a collection plate, man. That's idiotic, man. It's asinine to still believe in that nonsense, man, and it's witchcraft, and it's stupid, man. And black people as a whole, we have to wake up to the fact that we have been fooled into believing into this stupid, idiotic religion called Christianity for 400 years. And our nation of people have been on a steady decline, man, ever since the civil rights movement, ever since we got off the ships off the coast of America. You understand? We've been at a steady decline because slowly but surely they've been feeding us this Christianity.
That's
man.
right.
You understand? And we have to learn to drop all of that, man. If it's 2020, it's damn near 2022, man.
That's right.
2022, and you still going into the Christian church and hopping around and prancing around and dying for 2 minutes on your face in the middle of the floor, man, you got some growing up to do. You understand? You acting like a child, man, and the adults put away childish things, man, and it's time for black people to put away Christianity.
That's right.
You understand? Is there any more on that?
It's like a little bit more.
Go ahead.
Seek righteousness.
Seek righteousness, man. Seek out the men that's living right. Kevin Samuels he probably eat all kinds of shrimp, crab, pork, lobster. I'm sure he's celebrating Christmas. I'm sure he celebrated Thanksgiving and Halloween and 4th of July. And I'm sure he's probably sleep with his oppressor. He probably telling black women to fight each other while he go and get a blonde-haired, blue-eyed devil laying in his bed every single night, man. You understand? Probably one of the most wicked bastards on the face of the planet.
That's
man.
right.
You understand? Don't seek that out, man. Don't seek him out. Seek out the men of the Lord, man. Seek out the men who is practicing the righteous acts, man.
That's right.
Who's keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments and teaching people to do the same, man. Seek out the men holding the Passover, man.
That's right.
Keeping the Sabbath holy, man.
Damn right.
You understand? Living according to these Bible, man. That's who you should be seeking out, man. Not no damn. I keep forgetting that man's name, man. It's a reason I keep forgetting his name. Kevin Samuel, man. Damn. Good night. Keep going.
God, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger.
We all know what that is, man. The Lord don't love everybody, and the Lord has a requirement to be inside of his protection, man. Just like any other kind of thing you could think of where a person protects you, man. To be protected by somebody, you have to be in what? You have to be in order under what he's telling you to do. If aliens start flying down right now and they dropping meteorites and alien drop ships and all of that is going crazy and Superman fly from the goddamn sky, you understand, to protect us all. If he fly from the sky, he tell us, hey, everybody run to the corner, hide in the corner in the back of the room. If you decide I ain't gonna do what the hell Superman talking about, I'm gonna just go outside and pick up my Glock and try to fight off these aliens with sound wave guns. They got sound wave guns and you got a Glock, thinking you about to go out there and protect yourself. Guess what? You are no longer in the protection of Superman, man. And that's common. That's commonality, man. Any hero that you ever could think of, or any leader or any revolutionary that you ever thought of had a set order on how they did things. And if you won't in that order, then you won't under his protection, man. Whether you want to talk about being a hero, a goddamn superhero, a fictional hero, a drug kingpin, anything you want to imagine or think of, the military, the police force, anything you want to think of, any infrastructure of any sort, just like that, is always going to be the same way. You got a head man in charge and his orders, man. You got his rulership, his authority, and his laws. And if you ain't following his laws, then you don't have his protection, man. And the Most High, the Bible, is no different, man. And it's as simple as that. He gives us laws to follow. We follow them. We do them. And he protects us from the death that he's going to put on America, on this earth, man. And that's it. Keep going.
Yeah. Lucky. Oh, then that was the end of that.
All right, no sweat. Now we're going to go, what you got, sis? 90?
So like I said, I want to say it was the scripture on Psalms 90. The one I was talking about was the 12th verse.
Okay.
Just number of days, sir.
Okay. Let's go to verse 9.
Okay. The book of Psalms, chapter 90, and verse 9. For all our days are passed away in thy wrath. We spend our years as a tale that is told.
Meaning what? What does it mean that our days are passed away in thy wrath? What does it mean? Sis?
So like yes, sir. I do know that times goes by just like that. It's a flash in the pan. Like we think that we have time and we don't. You know, and it's like we don't understand how quick time goes by, and I'm probably not vocalizing that specific verse, but I'm thinking of that the scripture, because a lot of times, like even when it comes down to being as obedient as we should be, we think we have time, and we don't, you know, because like. You know, even like with my dad's situation, there's a lot of things. My dad supported me in this truth. You know, my dad, he might have still, you know, he won't always to wow. He might have still ate pork or something, but he still supported me in this truth. He was still trying to live righteously. We don't always have time. You know, we think we do, but we don't.
Right.
Slack, sir. I'm probably going off a little bit.
You own it, right? But read that part one more time. Verse 9.
The book of Psalms, chapter 90, and verse 9. For all our days are passed away in wrath.
Read one more time.
For all our days are passed away in wrath.
In wrath or in thy wrath?
Slacky. In thy wrath, Slacky.
No sweat. So now whose wrath is our days passed away in? What is this talking about?
It's the wrath of the Most High, sir.
Right, meaning when we die in what?
Because we would be in disobedience, sir.
Not necessarily. Just think about it. When we die in what?
We died because the Lord wanted us.
Right, which is what? It's his what? It's in the scripture.
Well, sir.
We just read it, right?
His wrath.
His wrath. You understand? If you die from a car accident, you died in the Lord's wrath. If you die from a tornado, you died in the Lord's wrath. If you die from AIDS or HIV, you died from the wrath of the Most High. How do you know? Because the Lord could keep you alive forever, couldn't he? If he wanted to. The Lord could heal you from sickness. He could save you from an airplane crash if he wanted to. But when we die, we dying in the Lord's wrath. You understand? So this whole scripture is talking about death. But keep going.
God. We spend our years as a tale that is told.
Keep going.
Verse 10. The days of our years are 80 years and 10.
You know what? There's 80 years and 10. That one.
80 years and 10 is around 70.
Keep going.
Okay. And if by reason of strength they be 80 years, yet is their strength labor and sorrow.
What does that mean? Now, if they're Salaki, and if by reason of strength they be 80 years, meaning what? It's not 80 years and 10, but they be 80. Meaning it'd be a little longer.
Okay.
You live past 70. You make it to 80, 90. You understand? Yet is their strength labor and sorrow. Meaning what? How is their strength labor and sorrow?
If I may, I think it explains it in the next part. Shalaki. For it is soon cut off and we fly away. It's like it's labor and sorrow because that last stretch is gonna be tough. It's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be a very uncomfortable life.
You can barely move. You're walking with a cane.
Right.
You're on crutches. You're in a wheelchair. God forbid you fall. You understand? Them last years is in labor. It's hard to live. It's hard to keep moving and trying. I know some people keep jobs up until they're damn near 70. You understand? And they working and it's hard. They making the same wages as somebody else, except their work is a lot more sorrowful. It's a lot harder for them to do what they do. So now, keep going. Now this is talking about the life of a man, right? Keep going.
Verse 11. Who knoweth the power?
So I can read that last part again, verse 2.
God. And if by reason of strength they be 80 years, yet is their strength labor and sorrow. For it is soon cut off, and we fly away.
We fly away. What does that mean? Now, a Christian would take that and say what? That you die and then your spirit floats off, and you looking at yourself in the hospital bed as you float off into the light. And then you either go on the elevator up or you go on the elevator down, right? But what is this talking about?
It's just as parts in the scripture say, you give up the ghost, you die. So we fly away. We go our spirit goes back to the Lord, to the Most High.
It's a nigga talking, right? It's a metaphor. It's saying one thing, but it means the same thing, but it's just in a different way. It doesn't mean you literally fly away. It means you die. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 11. Who knoweth the power of thine anger?
Who knoweth the power of thine anger? Meaning whose anger? The Most High. Keep going.
Even according to thy fear, so is thy wrath. Verse 12. So teach us to number our days.
So teach us to number our days. What does it mean to number your days? If somebody tells you to number your days, what does that mean?
It's like when somebody tells you count your days, it basically means you're not going to be here very long. So just
our life, this is telling. Remember, we used to live for longer than this. We used to live for a long time. But this is telling us what? That you only going to live 70 years. And if not 70, then you might make it to 80 or 90. But that last 10 to 20 years is going to be nothing. It's going to be as if you shouldn't even be alive, because it's going to be so painful, so sorrowful for you to live those last 10, 20 years. Now, for you to number those days is for you to do what? What is the point in all of that, in all of this, sis?
It's like it, sir. I've been looking at it as teaching me to number my days, and that being the case to make sure that I make every day worth it, make sure I'm trying to do the will of the Most High, make sure that I'm living as righteously as possible every day. And like that's what it means to me. Like I've been trying to live righteously every day. Like I've been looking at the scripture for a long time, but when my daddy died, and it said, like, that was the first thing that came to me, teach me to number my days. Like, I have children and grandchildren. I try to teach them every day how to live their life, how to be righteous, how to follow the law, statutes, commandments. I try to teach my children how to follow what the Most High says to do. So, like, that's what I got it from teaching to know my days. I'm not gonna be here forever. You know, I got a short time while I'm here, so I have to make it worth it.
So now, why would you teach someone to number their days?
Because they not gonna be here forever either. We all here for a short time. We not here forever.
Think about it more spiritually, right? Because to say, you know, we're gonna die soon, right? Someone would take that and say, well, if we're gonna die soon, let's turn up. Let's go do drugs. Let's go have a party. Let's do whatever we want to do, right? Because our days is numbered. We don't have a long time to be able to change the world, right? We don't have a long time. Right?
But we don't know when that day gonna come.
God,
and we want
right?
to make sure that we living righteously when that day come. We don't want to be.
But my question is then why? If a Christian says, then why would I not eat pork? If you just told me that my days are numbered and I'm going to die soon and my elderly years is going to be terrible, then what is the point of me not doing certain things? Remember, you just told me that my years are numbered. I don't have a long time to live. And at the end of my years, it's going to be terrible. So why am I then going to hear this terrible news and then agree with you when you say, and then now after you know that, now you can't eat pork with the little bit of time you do got. You can't eat shrimp. You can't sleep with white women. You can't smoke weed. You can't do any of these things. In a Christian's mind, that sounds asinine. It sounds redundant for him to live a certain life just for his life to be terrible, just for it to be short, and at the same time, like you just said, he doesn't know when his life is going to end. So why would he not eat? Why would he not go to this party tonight, Tabawan? Why would he not go and have sex with every woman he can? Why wouldn't he have sex with men? Why wouldn't he celebrate Christmas or celebrate Thanksgiving if he could die tomorrow? Why?
It's like it, sir, because one, he don't want to die in sin so that he's never going to be back. We want to make sure that our spirit is coming back and we're going to live again.
Exactly.
We are trying to live again. We're not trying to just end our lifelines. And
which is why it is important
for us to live righteously
according to the will of the Most High. Because we don't just die and that's it. You understand? We die, our soul is sent up and it is judged for the work that we have done on this earth, and then it is sent back to be renewed upon the face of the earth, and we rise again, you understand, as babies in this place doing what you would call reincarnation. You understand? So though our days are numbered, you understand, and though the ending of our years is sorrowful and hard, you understand, this is the amount of time that we have to get right. This is the amount of time that we have to change our life and to live according to the words of the Most High before we die, because we don't know the power of the Most High.
Right.
We don't know his wrath. You don't know what he'll do. You
God.
understand? If you ever seen Final Destination, yeah, the Lord could do that if he wanted to. And so that means what? Stop smoking weed today.
That's right.
You understand? Stop being jealous. Stop having the spirit of jealousy today. Stop using drugs and being a drug dealer today. You understand? Because you don't know how long you have.
That's right.
You understand what you got?
Salaki, what you bringing out and saying and breaking down is so heavy. Mm-hmm. You know, because when the scripture says we don't know the Lord, paraphrase, we don't know the Lord's wrath. Mm-hmm. It's like there's also the point where what if you don't die? Like, right. What if you do something really stupid? You know what I'm saying? Thinking that, you just having fun and you YOLO, like you only live once, and you got so high that you fall off a 4-story something, break your neck, and now you paralyzed for the rest of your life.
Good night.
You're gonna wish you was dead.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we don't, literally the scriptures like we don't know the wrath of the Lord, so our days are numbered, so you better get it right now because you don't know when it can go south.
Right. You understand? The Lord can save you from that car accident or that airplane.
Right.
Crash. You understand? You could be saved from that thing, and then you'll be having to live as a paraplegic for the rest of your life. You understand? Good night. You understand? And then guess what? As you're living as a paraplegic, you still have to do what? You still have to follow the law.
That's right.
With no arms and no legs, you still have to not eat pork. You have to still not smoke weed. You have to still go to the Passover. You have to still not celebrate Christmas when your life is terrible, and you still have to do the things that the Most High is telling you to do, which means we should just do what? Why don't we just obey the Most High?
That's right.
Why don't we just live? You understand? Why don't we just live so that we can come back in a better life? Why don't we live a righteous way so that we can come back in the kingdom of heaven, man? So that we can be born to families that can raise us up as young children, young boys and young girls to be princes and princesses. Well, we don't have to die at the age of 15. We don't have to die at the age of 12 or at the age of 21. Why don't we do these things so that our livelihoods can just be different as a nation of people, instead of believing that, life is short. Life is short anyway, you understand? You might as well live it up while we're here. You understand? Keep going. Verse 12, Salakia. Yeah.
Book of Psalms chapter 90 and verse 12. So teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom.
That we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. Apply your mind unto wisdom. What is the why? What is wisdom according to the Bible? Hold on 1 second. Let me get some people online, right? What is wisdom according to the Bible? Let's see if anybody online can get the answer first. Then we'll take a jab at it in a room. Read it one more time, Bible Kashab, if you could.
The book of Psalms chapter 90 and verse 12. So teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom.
Now, of course, we know I'm giving you hearts, right? Heart, of course, is your mind when we're talking about it in the Bible, in the context of the scriptures, right? Your heart is your mind, the way that you think. You understand? The way that you think controls what you do. It controls what you eat, controls who you sleep with, controls who you love, controls what you worship. You understand? What holidays you celebrate or you don't. It controls the drugs that you use or the drugs that you deny. It controls you being an alcoholic. It controls you being a drug dealer. It controls you being a liar or a thief or a murderer. You understand? But if you set your heart on wisdom, then you understand what is wisdom according to the scriptures, according to the Bible. What is wisdom? It's just said to fear the Lord. That's a good shot, but not quite correct. No sweat. What is wisdom? Remember, somebody look up the definition of wisdom. Let's get the Google definition if we could, Bible Kashab. Let's see what wisdom is.
Oh, Salah. I thought you. Okay.
To fear the Lord is correct, but I'm looking for something different, right? Of course, fearing the Lord comes with something else, which I probably gave you the answer.
This is the definition of wisdom from Oxford Languages. It says wisdom, the quality of having experience, knowledge, and good judgment.
Judgment. Now, you have good judgment, which means you know how to do what? You know how to determine right from wrong. If you're a judge's job, he gets paid so much money because he has to hold the integrity of America's judicial system in his hand that states that they will give a fair trial for any incident, right? Whatever it is, whether child support or a murder case, whatever the case may be, that judge has to be able, with his experience and his wisdom, to be able to determine what is right and what is wrong. But the kicker is this: what is right and what is wrong, according to what?
Right.
According to what does the judge have to always go back to? Let's see. Let me get on. Let me get them in 1 more minute and let's see if anybody else can get it. You understand? If they can't get it, we're going to shoot it out in the room. What does the judge have to always go back to? Remember, a judge can't say guilty on the account of, I remember you when I was a kid. And you remember when you was bullying me? Yeah, guilty. 100 years in prison. He can't do that. He would get fired because he charged him on unjust accounts. It's not just, right? His judgment has to come from something. It has to come from something. It has to, you understand? I'm not trying to give it to you. The sister said the law. You understand? Correct. It has to come from the law. The judge has to go to the law. He has to say, well, according to the law, the maximum punishment for this is this, that, and the third. But because of my judgment, I felt that you had some kind of reason to do this, that, or the third. I'll give you the minimum, or I'll give you this, or I'll give you that. Now, going back, right, to verse 12, when it says that we may apply our heart unto wisdom. Wisdom is the knowledge of doing right and wrong, right? Having judgment, being able to be a good judge of right from wrong. But right from wrong according to what? The sister said it, but of course it's not America's law. Anybody in the room got it?
What's the question?
What's the judgment from right from wrong according to the verse 12 talking about? Where does the wisdom come from?
The laws, statutes, and commandments in the Bible.
Statutes and commandments of the Bible. You understand? That is where it comes from. So now read it again.
The book of Psalms, chapter 90 and verse 12. So teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom.
That we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. Meaning, you understand this time, this short time that we have in living on this earth, man, within this short time period that we have, that we are supposed to be doing what? We're supposed to be being taught and learning how to apply our minds unto the law, statutes, and commandments.
That's right.
You understand? Learning how to live according to this Bible. You understand? Give me Ecclesiastic. Hold that. Give me Ecclesiasticus chapter 19 and verse 20. This is what the sis online said, law, statutes, commandments. Correct. You understand? This is what we're supposed to be doing with our time, because we don't know how long we have. We don't know if getting in the car tonight will be the last time that we ever get to see each other.
That's right.
You understand? So while we're here, we must do what? We must practice brotherhood.
That's right.
We must practice sisterhood
Right.
in here. We must practice being a
Right.
family or a nation in here. You understand? That's is what we have to do according to the law, because it is wise for us to do. It is wise for us to be the way that we are. It is wise for us to treat each other with the kindness and the sincerity that we have for one another the way that we do. It is a wise act, an honorable act for us to be who we are in this room, in this school, living the life that we live and how we live it, because it is the wisdom of the Most High, man, and it's the laws that the Lord gave us. Go ahead, read what you got.
Yeah. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 19 and verse 20. The fear of the Lord is all wisdom.
The fear of the Lord is all wisdom. It is very wise to fear the Most High, but that fear comes with something else. Keep going.
And in all wisdom is the performance of the law.
And wisdom is what?
And in all wisdom is the performance of the law.
Your wisdom comes from this law.
That's
You
right.
understand? That's what wisdom is according to the Bible. It's how well you perform this law. It's how well you can judge. How do you know someone's wise? Because if they ever put in a situation where they have to decide whether or not they should smoke weed or not, a wise brother would say what? Well, smoking weed is a sin, so we can't do that. Eating pork is a sin, so we can't do that. Sleeping with this whore is a sin, so it's not wise for me to do that, because it goes against the Most High. And because I fear the Most High, I follow the law, statutes, and commandments, man. And that is all wisdom. And that, you understand, is what Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians should be doing since the day that we have understanding. Since the day we become of age to the point where we can make decisions and learn and make judgments from right and wrong. You understand? And this is what this is all talking about. Now go back to Psalms 90 and go back to verse 12.
John, the book of Psalms, chapter 90 and verse 12. So teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom.
Apply your mind unto following this law. You understand? Keep going.
John, verse 13. Return, O Lord, how long? And let it repent thee concerning thy servants. Verse 14. O satisfy us early with thy mercy.
Oh, satisfy us early with thy mercy. What is he asking for here? Satisfy us early with thy mercy. What is being asked for? Remember, GP.
So like it sounds like somebody's asking for mercy from the Lord because they know that their days are numbered, which is why it says satisfy us early.
Mm-hmm. They're asking for mercy from the Most High, right? So that they can do what?
So they can rejoice.
All right. So that they can rejoice, right? But what is happening here? What is okay? Think about it. Without this, then our lives are short. The ending of our lives is terrible, and we live as wicked creatures on the face of the planet Earth, and we die. And this, what they're asking for, is the mercy of the Most High, so that they can live in what kind of way?
I mean, so I guess so they could be happy because I mean, if the days are numbered, I mean, I assume somebody would probably be depressed. I mean,
Why? I'm trying not to give it to you, right? Why would they be happy? Like, think about it. Go ahead, yeah, Con. They're asking for mercy, right? Why would they be asking for mercy? Remember, this is a common thing for all of us, even here in this truth, right? Those of us who find the truth usually are older. You understand? Most of us haven't been born into the truth. This isn't something that we was just born into, grew up since we was 1, 2, all the way up to however old we are, where we're doing this thing. Most of us came from a wicked place. Most of us came from a place of drug violence, gang violence, murder. You understand? Things like that. And so they're asking for mercy so that they can do what? I'll give you a hint, but it'll probably give it to you. All of us are doing it right now. All of us are doing it right now. Our days are short, but so are people in the world's. Brothers in the world's days are short, just like ours. The ending of our days are rough, just like people in the world's ending of their days are rough. It's all the same. But what is the difference between our days and theirs? What is different between our lives and theirs? Go ahead.
Is it because we're able to gather together as one?
You own it. You own it. You own it. Good. Got a couple comments too. Law, such commandments, Salaki. Love, kindness, to live a content, lawless life. You're on it, right? We're asking for mercy so that we can live, right? But I don't want to give it to you. Go ahead.
True Maestro said forgiveness for past indiscretions and a chance to make it right.
Damn right. You understand? Because we're asking for mercy to be able to live. We've been living a life that has been absolutely terrible. And now we're asking for a chance to be able to live and not murder my brother. Right. Give me the chance so I can live and not whore out my sister. That's right. Give me a chance so I can live and live a righteous life as we should have been living this whole time with the little bit of time that I have. Right. Because we don't know the Lord's wrath. I don't know how long I have. I don't know if I'll die tomorrow. So Lord, give me today to be a brother to my brother. Give me today to be a brother to my sister. Give me today to be a good father. Give me today to be a good friend. You understand? How many times, how many movies have you seen where some evil bastard, you understand, on his deathbed then turns and then says, I just want to see my family one last time. Or I just want to be good to my family, because he finds out he's dying in 2 weeks. Right. You understand? Well, we found out that we should be dead. We found out because of the sins that we've committed, we should all be dead. And so because of that, we know that we can die anytime. We know that the Lord's wrath could come upon us anytime, whether we're young or old, whether we're rich or poor. You understand? Whether we in the truth or not. Our life can be numbered. Our days are numbered and they are short. But within that time, what we do with that life, it matters. It matters in this life and the next. And so we pray and beg for mercy from the Most High to give us an opportunity to show him what we can be, what we can do. You understand? And that's all we got. We got a chance to show him. And that's what we do. We go out on them street corners and we try to teach our people and show them what brotherhood is. We go to that Passover. We pray that we can make it to that Passover so that we can show the Most High what we can do, who we can be, that we don't forsaken our King Yahweh Shai Mashiach. We haven't forgotten him. We're here right now standing bold as a lion and being brothers to one another. And we ain't going to kill each other. And we ain't going to whore out our sisters. And we ain't going to sell drugs to one another. And we ain't going to lie to each other and commit acts of cruelty to one another. But we will love one another. We will put our minds and our hearts onto his law, statutes, and commandments, and we'll practice it and we'll do it perfectly. And we will do that. And we'll beg for mercy every day that we get another day to prove it, to do it some more. You understand? Read that part one more time.
The book of Psalms, chapter 90 and verse 13. Return, O Lord, how long? And let it repent thee concerning thy servants. Verse 14. Oh, satisfy us early with thy mercy.
Satisfy us early with thy mercy. You understand? Before we die. Keep going.
God, that we may rejoice and be glad all our days.
That we may rejoice and be glad all our days. You understand? This is the life that we should be living. This is the status quo that we should be trying to obtain. You understand? Whether you old or young, whether you are rich or poor, this is what we should be doing. So that when we die, you understand, we can look back and we can say that I've lived the days that I had left in a righteous way. And you can have hope that you come back in the kingdom, brother. Because without this, who knows what you'll come back to? You may come back to the same drug dealing family that you started.
That's right.
You understand? And you'll live a terrible life.
Yeah, right.
You understand? But this is what we should be trying to achieve, you understand, in the nation of Israel, man. You understand? Is there any more on that?
That's it.
Most High in Christ. Any other questions, any other comments online?
Nothing at the moment, sir. Not on the Durham, Facebook, or YouTube.
All right, no sweat. That's how we got. I want to go to one scripture, man. This is show, couple of scriptures. This is show, you understand, some brotherhood, man. Let me see how much time we got. If I want to get to it, man. Yeah, let's go to this scripture, man, real quick. Give me 1 Samuel chapter 21 and verse. Let's see. Go to verse 1. It's like y'all Tawab in here as far as the heat, the air conditioner, everything. You Tawab, GP, you good in the back? You Tawab? All right, let's go. 21 and 1. Now this is just a story about David. David, of course, at this time was on the run from King Saul. You understand? And he was surrounded by hellfire everywhere he went. But this is a Tawab story, brotherhood. I just wanted to get this scripture up in here real quick.
The book of 1 Samuel. Chapter 21 and verse 1. Then came David to Nob, to Ahimelech, the priest. And Ahimelech was afraid at the meeting of David, and said unto him, Why art thou alone, and no man with thee?
So now David was on the run, right? So he's on the run. He runs to the priest Ahimelech, you understand? And Ahimelech is scared, because he knows that the king has an order out to do what? He's looking for David. You understand? He's trying to get David. And David's on the run. So Ahimelech's like, oh, man, why the hell did you come to my house? You understand? Why'd you come here, right? Keep going.
John, verse 2. And David said unto Ahimelech the priest, The king hath commanded me a business, and hath said unto me, Let no man know anything of the business whereabout I send thee, and what I have commanded thee. And I have appointed my servants to such and such a place. Verse 3.
Meaning he moved his people to a way so that they wasn't, you understand, that's why he wasn't with them at this time. Keep going.
Verse 3. Now therefore, what is under thine hand? Give me 5 loaves of bread in mine hand, or what there is present.
So he's asking the priest for what? He's asking the priest for food. You understand? But at this time, there wasn't nothing but show bread, shoe bread. The shoe was show, right? There was nothing but show bread here in the temple, right? Keep going.
Verse 4. And the priest answered David and said, there is no common bread under mine hand, but there is hallowed bread. If the young men have kept themselves at least from women. Verse 5.
Go to verse 6.
Verse 6. So the priest gave him hallowed bread, for there was no bread there but the show bread that was taken from before the Lord to put hot bread in the day when it was taken away.
Now, was that priest supposed to give David that show bread? Now, this show bread was for the Lord, right? This was in the temple. Was the priest supposed to give him that?
When you say supposed to, you mean according to the law?
According to the law.
According to the letter of the law, no.
He wasn't, right? He wasn't supposed to give him that bread according to the letter of the law. Now, keep going. Oh, go ahead. Did you want to say something?
No.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. Verse 7. Now a certain man of the servants of Saul was there that day, detained before the Lord, and his name was Doeg, an Edomite, the chiefest of the herdmen that belonged to Saul.
Now, there's some Edomite man who was there. He witnessed this, right? He was there in that day, and he worked for King Saul. Keep going.
Verse 8. And David said unto Ahimelech, and is there not here under thine hand spear or sword?
So now David is also asking for what? He also asking for a weapon. You understand? From the priest. Keep going.
For I have neither brought my sword nor my weapons with me, because the king's business required haste. Verse 9. And the priest said, the sword of Goliath the Philistine, whom thou slewest in the valley of Elah, behold, it is here wrapped in a cloth behind the ephod. If thou wilt take that, take it. For there is no other save that here. And David said, there is none like that.
Now,
give it me.
All of these things that the priest is doing for David, he should not be doing. He should not be helping this brother because he is on what? He's on the run. He's on the run from the king. You understand? The king of Israel at the time. So all of these things he's doing out of the strength of just what? Brotherhood, right? Knowing that he could die for doing these things. Keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, and of course he gave him the sword of Goliath's sword, which is of course the goddamn African giant that King David killed with a slingshot.
Come. Verse 10. And David arose and fled that day for fear of Saul, and went to Achish, the king of Gath. Verse 11. And the servants of Achish said unto him, is not this David the king of the land? Did they not sing one to another of him in dances, saying, Saul hath slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s?
So David is at the gates of Achish, at the border of the land of the kingdom, and they're saying, is this David looking rough? He looking damn near bad. And they saying, is this not that mighty man? You understand? Who killed tens of thousands, even though King Saul only killed thousands? Is this not that man who we spoke about, sung about? Keep going.
Verse 12. And David laid up these words in his heart, and was sore afraid of Achish, the king of Gath. Verse 13. And he changed his behavior before them, and feigned himself mad in their hands, and scrabbled on the doors of the gate, and let his spittle fall down upon his beard. Verse 14. Then said Achish unto his servants, Lo, ye see the man is mad. Wherefore then have ye brought him to me? Verse 15. Have I need of madmen, that ye have brought this fellow to play the madman in my presence? Shall this fellow come into my house?
So he's doing what? What is King David doing?
Putting on the show, he acting.
He acting.
He faking.
David putting on that show, man. They pleaded insanity.
Right.
So he said, do I have a need for madmen? You understand? Keep going.
This is the next chapter, so keep going.
Yep. Verse 20, chapter 22.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 22 and verse 1. David therefore departed thence and escaped to the cave Adullam. And when his brethren and all his father's house heard it, they went down thither to him. Verse 2.
So, wait, I missed the part. But now, why did King David start acting crazy? Why did he start acting this way? Why do you have to do it? Stop on.
Salaki, I mean, to avoid. Good night, Salaki. I can't complete the thought, Salaki.
So like, yes, sir. He read the room. He know that they was looking at him funny, and he had to go ahead and cover it because there's a lot of times in life where people looking at you funny, and you still got to make do and do what you got to do.
They were looking at him in a way that, what was they going to do?
Hurt him or kill him, put him to death.
How?
How was they gonna put him
Remember
to
the
death?
situation that David's in.
I mean, were they going to turn him over to King
They were
Saul?
going to hold him. It was the king's order. The king of Israel said he's looking for
He's
David.
an enemy.
You understand? He went to one priest and the priest helped him. He went to this king and the king was about, they said, isn't this King David? Is this not the man? This is him? And so he started to do what? Act crazy. So they said, I don't, you understand? Don't quote me on this, but I don't believe the king realized that it was David. I think in his actions, they was like, oh, this is just some crazy Negro. Get him out of here.
Right.
You understand? This is not King David, right? And so he left. He escaped into the caves. He ran away. You understand? But he did that so he could get away because they were not about to help him.
Right.
You understand? Keep going.
Come. Shalakia. Verse 2. And everyone that was in distress, and everyone that was in debt, and everyone that was discontented, gathered themselves unto him. And he became a captain over them. And there were with him about 400 men.
Now, what is happening? King David and went to the priest. He got the sword of Goliath, got some showbread, went to the king of Goth, and got away by acting like a crazy man. And he ran into the wilderness, into the caves and the mountains. And he found other people who was in the wilderness, in the caves and in the mountains, who were poor, who were distressed, who probably were exiled from kingdoms. You understand? Sojourners, travelers, people who were just amongst these people. And he began to be a king over them or a captain over them. Keep going.
Come. Verse 3. And David went thence to Mizpah of Moab. And he said unto the king of Moab, let my father and my mother, I pray thee, come forth and be with you till I know what God will do for me.
So now he's going to the king of Moab and he's asking for what? He's asking for protection for his father and his mother. Keep going.
Verse 4. And he brought them before the king of Moab, and they dwelt with him all the while that David was in the hold. Verse 5. And the prophet Gad said unto David, abide not in the hold, depart and get thee into the land of Judah. Then David departed and came into the forest of Hereth. Verse 6. When Saul heard that David was discovered, and the men that were with him, now Saul abode in Gibeah under a tree in Ramah, having his spear in his hand, and all his servants were standing about him. Verse 7. Then Saul said unto his servants that stood about him, hear now, ye Benjamites, will the son of Jesse give every one of you fields and vineyards, and make you all captains of thousands?
Now read that part one more time. Salakia.
Come, hear now, ye Benjamites, will the son of Jesse give every one of you fields and vineyards, and make you all captains of thousands?
Now Saul is saying what? He's saying, hear now, ye Benjamites, will the son of Jesse give every one of you fields and vineyards? You understand? And make you captains of thousands? What is he saying? Who is he talking to? Who is the son of Jesse?
King David. Well, I don't know if he's king at this moment, but David.
David, right? We can still call him. He's still King David.
Salaki.
King David, right? King David is the son of Jesse.
Come.
And we think King Saul is basically doing what?
Trying to flex.
He's flexing. He's saying, can this dude do what you understand? What I can do for you, make
Right.
you captain, and do this, that, and the third, and yada yada yada. Can this dude have you marching with 800 men in Memphis? Can this dude have you looking all nice in the purple and gold and give you airplanes to Africa and have you on vacations in Maui every
Right.
month, and I don't know, whatever the hell else they do. But open up record labels and have your face on buses, and what the hell else do these fake Israelites be doing? They get like coupons and stuff to Starbucks, I guess. You get free unlimited Starbucks when you join some fake Israelite group, man. Right? But they flexing his power, showing how much he could do, right, for them, right? So that they wouldn't do what? So that they wouldn't fight with David. Understand? Keep going.
God. And make you all captains of thousands and captains of hundreds. Verse 8. That all of you have conspired against me, and there is none that showeth me that my son hath made a league with the son of Jesse, and there is none of you that is sorry for me, or showeth unto me that my son hath stirred up my servant against me to lie in wait as at this day.
What is he saying? What is he saying now? What is Saul saying now? What is this dude talking about? And there is none of you that showeth me that my son hath made a league with the son of Jesse, with David. There is none of you that is sorry for me. Just think about it. Just imagine what's happening right here. Picture the scenario. What's going on? Saul is talking to his men. He's pleading with his men. Oh, sweat. Keep going. Let's keep going.
Okay. Verse 9. Then answered Doeg the Edomite, which was set over the servants of Saul, and said, I saw the son of Jesse coming to Nob, to Ahimelech, the son of Ahitub. Verse 10. And he inquired of the Lord for him, and gave him victuals, and gave him the sword of Goliath the Philistine.
And so the Edomite is snitching on David. He's telling Saul where he was and where he got help from. Keep going.
John. Verse 11. Then the king sent to call Ahimelech the priest, the son of Ahitub, and all his father's house, the priests that were in Nob, and they came all of them to the king.
So now he sent for that priest who gave David, King David, the shewbread and the sword of the Philistine. Keep going.
John. Verse 12. And Saul said, Hear now, thou son of Ahitub. And he answered, Here I am, my lord. Verse 13. And Saul said unto him, Why have ye conspired against me, thou and the son of Jesse, in that thou hast given him bread and a sword, and hast inquired of the Most High for him, that he should rise against me, to lie in wait, as at this day?
So you're saying, why have you betrayed me? You understand? Why did you go against the king's order and help the son of Jesse, help King David? You understand? So basically, he's accusing him of betraying him.
Right.
You understand? Keep going.
Verse 14. Then Ahimelech answered the king and said, And who is so faithful among all thy servants as David, which is the king's son-in-law, and goeth at thy bidding, and is honorable in thine house?
So what is the priest saying here? Remember, King David, Saul is having to what you call it, plead with his men for a reason. You understand? There is a reason why he's having to plead with his men for the son of Jesse. But why? What is the priest saying? Maybe I should ask this, right? What is the reason that David is on the run anyway? In the first place.
Salakia. I know King Saul, if I'm not mistaken, wants to kill him.
Why? GP?
So like, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's because I believe Saul wanted the throne, but at the time it was supposed to be passed down to if I'm not mistaken, because I remember reading the story, but I know Saul wanted to take over the throne, so he didn't know to do it. He had to kill David.
Anyone else? Who is Saul's son?
Sorry, is that what now?
Who was Saul's son? King Saul's son.
Like David is Saul's son-in-law,
So who was Saul's son?
not Jonathan.
Is it? Think about it. I gotta look it up. Saul is Jonathan's father. I mean, Con
So Jonathan is
is
Saul's son.
which is the brother to David.
Right.
You understand? Which is why David loved him so much.
Con.
Because they were brothers. You
Con.
understand? And Saul wanted Jonathan to do what? What did Saul order Jonathan to do?
Kill David?
He wanted to bring David in so that he could kill him.
Con.
You understand? So much and so that Saul was so angry with Jonathan's loyalty to David. You understand that he threw a spear at Jonathan. You understand, because he wouldn't follow the orders he wouldn't follow the orders from King Saul to bring David in so that Saul could kill him. You understand? But what was the reason that Saul wanted to even kill him? Why did all of this even take place?
Salak, if you could, sir, refresh my memory, because I know Saul was the king. It wasn't a situation where, Saul was the king of Israel. But I know the jealousy grew because King David was getting notoriety. He killed a bunch of soldiers, and when they came back, everybody was like, "Yo, David's the man. David's the man."
It was like the situation. What movie was that, man? It was some movie where there was some king, and the king was like a little wimpy white dude. But they're the military leader, the one who was out there fighting the battles. He had done so much winning and was so victorious over the enemies of the kingdom that the people started to respect the fighter.
Gladiator?
Was it Gladiator?
You sure you ain't talking about Game of Thrones?
No, it's not Game of Thrones. I never watched that. It's a movie, but they started respecting him. It might have been.
Kind of sound like Gladiator a little bit.
I don't know, but that concept is very common, right? That's a common concept where the war general begins to have more power than the actual king, the politician. He said, "Yeah, I don't think it's Gladiator. I know Gladiator. That's when they was fighting as gladiators. Right. This is a straight up war movie. I think they was fighting against barbarians somewhere in Amsterdam or something like that. Could be. I don't know.
Sweat.
But the point is that scenario happens a lot, and that was starting to happen now, where King David was becoming so powerful through his battles and him being victorious over his enemies that the people started to look more towards David rather than to looking for as Saul as a king. You understand? But keep going, Salaki. I done lost my point with that.
Salaki.
But what was the reason that Saul, you understand, hated David? I kind of give it to you. Scripture. I'm trying to find a scripture. Okay. There's a word in particular that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I can't give it to you. I'm looking for it. Why did Saul? Okay, think about it.
You're saying,
right.
You're saying you want us to say the word.
Right. David started to get power from his victorious battles, right? So much and so that Saul became what?
Salaki, sir. Was he jealous? Was
Jealousy.
he envious?
Jealousy is why Saul hated King David. You what?
You just said Joseph before.
You
That's
did?
why I.
Oh, Salakia. I must have Salakia. Saul was jealous of King David and what he was able to do, and also of Jonathan's loyalty to David, more so than himself. And so, with that being said, then the question is, why does Saul hate King David? That is a think about it. The answer is David didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
You understand? And so Saul is having to hype his men up and say, can this man give you this? And can he do that? And can this happen? And why didn't y'all do this and do this? Because in the minds of the men, they're saying, what did he do to you? He didn't do anything to you. You understand? So the priests go back to the Amalek, Ahimelech, and what he's saying to Saul.
Come. Then answered Ahimelech. Then Ahimelech answered the king and said, and who is so faithful among all thy servants as David?
He said, out of all your servants, who is more faithful than David? David served you the best. Right. You understand? Keep going.
Which is the king's son-in-law.
Which is your son-in-law. Keep going.
And goeth at thy bidding, and is honorable in thine house.
Meaning what? David was, why are you mad at this man? What did he do to you? You understand? This brother was perfect for you inside your house. It was honorable inside of your house. Keep going.
Come.
Lock you.
Verse 15. Did I then begin to inquire of the Most High for him? Be it far from me. Let not the king impute anything unto his servant, nor to all the house of my father. For thy servant knew nothing of all this, less or more. Verse 16. And the king said, thou shalt surely die, Ahimelech, thou and all thy father's house.
So King Saul said, to hell whatever he's talking about. You understand? He gonna kill the priest and all his family, his whole town, all of that. You understand? He just gonna kill them all. Keep going.
Verse 17. And the king said unto the footmen that stood about him, turn and slay the priest of the Lord, because their hand also is with David, and because they knew when he fled and did not show it to me.
So now he turned to his man. He said, kill him off with his head. You understand? Because they ain't tell me what David was, and they didn't bring him to me. They ain't do this and do this, do all that, this, that, and the third. But what happens? Keep going.
God. But the servants of the king would not put forth their hand to fall upon the priest of the Lord.
They ain't put forth their hand to fall upon the priest of the Lord, man. You understand? They ain't go kill the priest because what? Because the priest ain't do nothing wrong. They ain't do nothing wrong. The same way King David didn't do anything wrong. You understand? They showed what? They were showing brotherhood for this man. You understand? For someone who didn't have the kingdom at the time, for a brother who didn't have rulership or couldn't give you 10,000, captain of 10,000, couldn't give you rank. He couldn't give you anything. You understand? But this brother was what? He was an outstanding man. You understand? He was a righteous man. He didn't wear purple.
That's right.
He didn't have purple and gold and money and Rolls Royces and Lamborghinis. But this brother was a man of his word. This was a brother who didn't have jealousy over his brothers. This was a brother who would die for his people and was an honorable man and a good servant to a king who wants to kill him. You understand? And they showed brotherhood, and even the priest showed brotherhood and he's going to give brotherhood with his life, but not by the hands of these brothers or the servants of Saul. But keep going. Oh, sis, you had something? I was saying Christ. Keep going.
Verse 18. And the king said to Doeg, turn thou and fall upon the priest.
So he went to the white boy.
Right.
He had to go to the white man and good night to do the dirty work, man. Keep going. Which shows you just how the spirit of Esau is so beastly that he does not even care. Like he just seen, like in any movie where like the king would be like, kill him, and nobody moves. Usually nobody's gonna move. Like even people in the background who don't know nothing about what's happening, they like, well, clearly, I guess we're not supposed to kill him. Right. It's the end of this. You understand?
So like it reminds me of the scene in Training Day.
Yeah.
When Alonzo was like, kill Jake.
Right.
And everybody was just watching. Yeah. And he was like, what the? And like literally everybody in the projects had turned around and went back home.
Nobody did anything,
Come.
man. But of course, Esau, man, he's
right.
such an animal. don't even care. He's like, I don't give a damn what these niggas is not doing. I'm about to kill. You understand? That's just the spirit of Esau, man. He's a goddamn animal, man. Keep going.
John, and Doeg the Edomite turned, and he fell upon the priests and slew on that day 80.
That's like the sis said, because he was anointed to be the next king in line. Khan, you understand? Saul was jealous of all of that. We keep going.
John, and slew on that day 85 persons that did wear a linen ephod. Verse 19, and Nob, the city of the priest, smote he with the edge of the sword, both men and women, children and sucklings, and oxen and asses and sheep with the edge of the sword. Verse 20, and one of the sons of Ahimelech, the son of Atub, named Abiathar, escaped and fled after David.
So they put an end to their whole city, killed the babies, the women, the old, all of the animals, the oxen, the sheep, everything. You understand? But one of the brothers escaped and went after David. Keep going.
John. Salakia. Verse 21, and Abiathar showed David that Saul had slain the Lord's priests. Verse 22, and David said unto Abiathar, I knew it that day when Doeg the Edomite was there.
So David knew what was going to happen. He knew that this brother was giving his life for him. You understand? He knew it that day. Keep going.
That he would surely tell Saul, I have occasioned the death of all the persons of thy father's house. Verse 23, abide thou with me, fear not, for he that seeketh my life seeketh thy life, but with me thou shalt be in safeguard.
Now, the story goes on and on, but the point is this. We know that the Lord was with who?
King David.
King David. You understand? King David didn't have all the power. King David didn't have the king's men. Right. He didn't have the kingdom. He didn't have all the riches and all the money. He didn't have anything. King David had a cave that he could run into. But the countenance of King David is why the Lord had chose him. Now, we go into today, right? And we look at the men who raise us up here in the Isupk, and we look at their countenance. We don't look at what they have. We don't look at the money that they may have or the cars that they may have or the numbers of men that they may have. We look at the type of person that Commander General Yohana is, and that is how we know that the Lord is with him, man. You understand? And that's how we show brotherhood. We don't show brotherhood to somebody because what? Oh, because man, these brothers right here, they got 1,000 people marching in the street. This is who we show brotherhood to. This is who we should help. No, you should help that poor brother. You understand? Who's coming to you for bread and for water and for protection. You understand? You should help that brother, man. You understand? Because of course, we know now that of course the Lord was with King David, but back then he was just a brother. He was just a great warrior and a great servant to King Saul. You understand, sis? What you got?
Yes, sir. I was just wondering, who was it in
Is the mic on, sis?
Who was it in verse 22 that would you read it again, sir?
Slaki.
Go ahead.
Is that okay?
Verse 22. It's like look at 1 Samuel chapter 22 and verse 22. And David said unto Abiathar, I knew it that day when Doeg the Edomite was there, that he would surely tell Saul, I have occasioned the death of all the persons of thy father's house.
Sir, would you break that down for me? That doesn't mean that this Edomite laid himself down for our people.
No.
Will you please tell me what that means?
As far as what he's doing, what David, remember, David is talking to the brother who got away from the wrath of Doeg. When Doeg went to slaughter this brother's family, his mothers, his cattle, his oxen, his sheep, everything. And so David is saying that he knew that this was coming because Doeg was there when David was in the temple with the priest asking for shewbread, and when the priest gave him the sword of Goliath. Doeg was there. He's seen it. You understand?
Sir, sometimes English language is very difficult.
No sweat, sis.
And I'm not a learned from this.
Kind,
It's very difficult to read it.
kind. Well, that's all David
Wow,
was saying.
sorry.
David's just saying, man, I knew it was gonna happen.
I
You
know what's
understand?
gonna happen.
Salaki, and
It's
it-
up there.
if-
It's mud.
If I may, and he's kind of he's telling his brother who just lost his whole family,
Right.
like, it's not my fault. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I occasioned it
Mhm.
because I knew he was gonna do that.
Right.
Sloppy.
Yeah. He's putting the blame on himself.
Never trust our enemy.
David is putting the blame on himself. You understand? And then he's gonna take this brother up under his wing to protect him after that. You understand? No sweat. But that just goes to show you, man, that when we looking at the men who we choose to follow today, man, like a lot of us choose in the world, we get so accustomed to looking at riches and fame and popularity as some kind of righteousness or as some kind of gauge as to who we should follow for leadership or who we should go to for counsel. Because of course we see somebody who's rich, we think what? We think, oh, he made it. He's the guy we should be talking to. But when you go into these records, and of course there's many, many stories that's just like this. But this is one, you understand, I just wanted to bring up because I feel like I ain't really heard it that much being taught. So I just wanted to bring this one out. But it just shows you understand that because you like it's kind of hard to grasp it now because we know who King David is. We know what he's going to do in the future as it pertains to these records. But putting yourself back in those times, putting yourself back in those days, and being able to be a brother to judge a brother's countenance, to be able to see a brother and say, this brother didn't do anything wrong. You understand? And this brother was an honorable man, and this is the type of brother that I would follow.
That's right.
And then you take that and then bring it back today, and then you look at Commander General Yohana.
Damn right.
You understand? And you look at the other fake Israelite groups, and you make your decision as to who you want to follow. However, me and my family, we're gonna follow Commander General Yohana.
That's
caves.
right.
That's what we're gonna go. We're gonna go into them ghettos and them basements and them caves and them poorest conditions, and we're gonna struggle with each other. You understand? For this man who has been nothing but subservient to this truth, to this man who people want to talk trash and talk down upon, you understand, who has done nothing but stand for this truth, even though the people who was with him back in the 80s turned on him, even though they turned on him and the men who learned from him turned on him and tried to make him out to be the hypocrite or to be the evil one or to be the wicked one. And then, you know, they promised they men. They say, well, look at Commander General Yohana. They only got 30 men. I got 1,000 men. Can he make you captain of this? Can he make you this? Can he give you this? You understand? And we look at that and you put it all together today, man. And we going through the same thing over and over and over again. You understand? The same thing. Men who Commander General Yohana would have laid his life down for, backstab him.
That's right.
You understand? But yet he's standing strong in the truth. And in the end, we'll see who the Lord was with.
That's right.
We'll see who the Lord was
Damn
with.
right.
So you want to go choose purple and live lavishly on first class private jets to Africa? No sweat. Go do it. You understand? However, if Commander General Yohana goes to a goddamn cave, then we'll be living in a cave. You understand?
Damn right.
Go ahead.
Shalaki, if I may, sir, what you saying is heavy metal, like heavy stuff concerning brotherhood. And one thing, if I could, that's amazing. Every time I hear this story about King David, you know what I'm saying, one of the most Tawab brothers, you know what I'm saying, it's like he a lot of people's favorite brother in the scriptures, you know what I'm saying? Like he got that way about him. But the most, forget all the killing he did, because he was good at that. He was good at not murdering, but, you know, being a soldier, you know, and all of that. But throughout this whole thing, like you said, these brothers didn't want to do nothing because I knew that King David did nothing wrong.
Right.
And like Ahimelech said, like, what servant you got that's better than King David?
Right.
King David loved King Saul.
He loved him.
He loved King Saul, and he never ever did anything, even though this brother was trying to kill him.
Right.
He never ever, not one time, disrespected him or switched up or anything on King Saul. And it's like it's the same thing you bring up Commander General Yohana. Some of them same cats that Commander General Yohana knew that end up turning on him and saying things about him.
Right.
Commander General Yohana never went behind their backs. No, he still says, I learned from that brother. I love that brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if they need something, if I can help them, then I'll do that. You know what I'm saying? We got some of these brothers in our schools on the walls. Like, We
Right.
still give respect to them brothers.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like the truest. This school is literally built on brotherhood, and
Damn
it's
right.
like none of these other schools are built on brotherhood. Salaki
Damn
at
right.
all.
You understand? Give Commander General Yohana a hand, man. For his loyalty, man, to this truth and his loyalty to us, but also his loyalty to his damn enemies, man. You understand? The men who want to see him hurt and to quit and to die. You understand? He's still loyal to them by being loyal to this truth, man. And like the brother just said, which is heavy. You understand? His countenance is not to go and backstab and talk trash and do this, that, and the third against them. You understand? He's Commander General gave the order out for all camps to come back home. He gave that order out for all the camps to come back to the Passover, man, and to be with us, man. But they still can be at the Passover. You know, I think I be seeing figures like sometimes. Yeah, fringes on the tree, t-shirt, dreadlocks. They're like, well, this isn't at the Memphis Stadium. Like the figures are like, good night. You understand? They see Commander General pull up in a Ford Expedition. They say, I don't know.
Right.
I don't really seem like there's a lot of money up in here. I don't see gold garments and purple garments everywhere. This might not be the place, man. But you understand. But again, whatever decision you decide to make, that's on you. I know who I'm standing with, though. Sis. Mm-hmm.
I just want to let y'all know that Officer Rock, he kept telling me like 2 years ago, come to class. And I started coming to class. And I met y'all, and I love y'all more than y'all know. And when my dad died, Captain Nye thought I called him, and he had some sisters show up, and they fed my family. And he showed up with a bunch of brothers. And when I stepped out the limo at my stepmom's house, and I saw when he said, Ashakuan. I looked back and I saw him, and like my whole heart like expanded. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the brothers came in the house, and I saw the sisters, they was giving food. Look, people can talk about love. When it comes down to showing love, y'all are the best in this world. And I tell everybody, I tell my mother, I tell my daughters, y'all are the best. I love y'all so much. Like when I was in a really bad spot, Most High in Christ, y'all have been here for me. And if I can ever be here for you in any type of way, I'm there. I love y'all so much.
Most High in Christ.
I love y'all. Most High in Christ.
Right now, your presence
I
is a
love
gift.
y'all.
You
I
understand?
love y'all.
Your presence is a gift from the Most High, man. That's it, man. You understand? And of course, that's the love that Commander General has bred into the Isupk, man. You understand? And that's the love that King David had for his brothers and his nation, man, which is why King David is one of the most powerful kings to ever rule, man, the nation of Israel. But let's go ahead, man. What time we got? What's the time? Time's sake. Good night. Let me see. Give me Obadiah chapter 1.
Yeah.
Tom said we're gonna go through this real quick. Cal Rittenhouse. I wanted to get the thing up on the screen, man, but I'll probably have to say that for next time. But on your own time, you just go look up Cal Rittenhouse on some show. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let's see. Cal Rittenhouse, standing ovation at a conservative conference in Phoenix. Let's see, is this it? It's USA's America Fest event, I believe. In Phoenix.
What exactly are you looking up though?
I just want to show the standing ovation. You got it? What's going on? If we could, Baba, so while you doing that, let's get Psalms chapter 82, 83 and verse 2. Again, now, this Kyle Rittenhouse, man, we're going to see in a second, man, but America has made this boy, this 18-year-old boy, into a superstar, man, for murdering those people at that Black Lives Matter movement. And of course, in ISUPK, we don't give a damn about a Black Lives Matter movement. But the point is that because it was a Black Lives Matter movement, he was able to be, you understand, not convicted for the crimes that he's done, because essentially him murdering those people was against black people. It was against the progression of black lives, you understand, against the welfare of black people in America, which is why it's such an atrocity, you understand, or a heinous act for America to stand and give a standing ovation, you understand. Okay.
News clips, but it's just pictures and we'll talk.
Let's put a picture up there, then. Let's whatever we can get. Let's get that.
Well, it's a little,
I got the footage right here. If you just, I don't even know how to do that. Let me see. Let me see 1 second. What's your email? I sent it. You understand? This is, and he's getting this fame and this notoriety, man, just for murdering people, man. And it's such a, man, this place right here, man. This George Zimmerman, man, just the same, man, alike. And it's crazy how this place, and like when you see the video, they gonna put his name in bold big letters right in the middle of the American flag. You understand? This Kyle Rittenhouse is America's hero, man. He's America's hero for what he did. You understand, at that Black Lives Matter protest. Go ahead, sis, in the GP right behind.
So like I said, I had been going, talking to some people online, and I was trying to tell them like the same things that they've been perfecting on us. They want to practice on you. Like white people don't even love white people. You know what I'm saying? Like they give less than 2 fucks about each other. They don't give a fuck. So I'm talking about language is terrible. When it came to what happened with Rittenhouse, he killed 2 white people. And you still have other white people like standing up to be like, oh well, he was like standing up for something. He didn't want to talk about shit. He could have stayed his fucking ass at home.
Right. Yeah, he definitely could have stayed home, but of course he wanted to go hunt.
He wanted to go out and be fucking dangerous in a fucking sloppy.
GP, you have something? You got something, GP?
So like I was just gonna say, like America treat might kind of loud. I was just gonna say, I was just hearing the echo. But America treats Rittenhouse like you said, like a hero, so much so that he actually broke a law. He actually committed a crime.
Right.
Because, at the time he had an AR-15 and he was 17.
Right.
Right. And I remember I was looking at the trial. They said, okay, he was a minor with an AR-15. We're going to throw that out. And I'm like, you're going to throw that out? I was like, good night.
But America had it.
Yep.
That should be a federal fucking crime. It shouldn't even be a state crime. It was a federal fucking crime because you're across state lines.
Man.
You understand?
We're missing that because we don't understand law the way they do. They understand. They try to damn smooth shit over. I understand. I'm looking at it. I'm like, these motherfuckers want some bullshit. Slocky.
Man.
No sweat. We got the video up right here. No sweat. Let me get Psalms real quick.
Yeah.
Psalms 83 and verse 2. Or you can start at verse 1.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 82 and verse 1. It's like 82 and 1?
Con. 83.
Con. It's like book of Psalms chapter 83 and verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O God.
Be not still, man. We looking at this place that we live in, man, and we praying for the Most High to be not still against the enemies of our, you understand, that wants to murder us and kill us, man. You understand? Keep going.
Con. Verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
For thy enemies make a tumult. Keep going.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head, man. You understand? Our oppressor hates us, man. They want to see us die. They want to see us oppressed. They want to see us enslaved, man. That's what they want to see. You understand? So when you see things like George Zimmerman being lifted up or police officers being lifted up because of their wickedness that they do to our people, or the judicial system's wickedness that they push on our people, their oppression that they push on our people, man, is because you understand that this nation that we're living in is a nation of people who hates blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, man. They hate us. There is no love in their heart for our people, man. You understand? Which is why we have to stop believing that one day that they would change. We have to stop believing that one day that they is going to come and they're just going to all of a sudden wake up one day with all this love and then happiness and peace in their heart for the children of their slaves, man. You understand? It's never going to change, man. And you understand, like the scriptures say this: whatsoever was written aforetime was written for our understanding, for our learning. You understand? We supposed to be able to take the history lessons, man. Take the things that's written in these scriptures, take the things that they do to us in the past, and use it to mold how we should act. By this point in time, we shouldn't even be surprised that stuff like this is happening. We shouldn't even be surprised that all oppressors murdering us in the street. You understand? How many babies gotta die before we realize that our oppressor has it out to murder us, man? How many of us have to die, you understand, by the hands of wicked police officers, man, before we realize that our oppressor is out to murder us, man? We dying by the thousands, man, by the hands of oppression alone.
That's right.
You understand? How much more blood has to be shed of our people before we realize that we cannot join hand in hand with him, man?
Right.
We cannot go and love our oppressor and live at the same time.
That's right.
It is an equation that has not worked. You understand? For as long as I've been from the history of time, you understand? 2 + 2 has been 4. And white and black people coming together has meant death for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
That's right,
man. And that equation has never changed. There's never been a time in the history of the earth where white people and black people just loved one another and was able to live in peace and harmony. Since the being in the bowels of Rebecca, blacks and all oppressor and the nation of Israel has been at war with one another. And there is no peace in the hearts of the so-called Edomite, man, of
That's
all
right.
oppressor, man. And so where do we get the idea that someday he's going to change, or someday he's just going to, you understand, see the fault in his ways and then stop murdering us, man? It's not going to happen. And we should see this because of Trayvon Martin. We should know this because of Emmett Till, because of Fidel Castile, because of all these brothers and all the thousands of list of names of black people whom we mourn every day living in this hellhole. We should be able to learn from their death. You understand? We should be able to learn from their death. General Hyman said it best. The lesson of death is to learn to value life, man. You should learn to value the lives of the people who was murdered by oppression, by not falling victim to the same things that they was victimized by. You understand? That's how you go, and then your people being slaughtered by our oppressor. You understand? And you don't even value your life enough to say, well, maybe we shouldn't do the same thing. Maybe we shouldn't allow more Dylan Storm Roofs to come inside of our church. You understand? Because of course we allowed it one time and he killed us, man. They killed us, man. But of course we don't value the lives of our children. We don't value the lives of our elderly. We don't value the lives of our brothers and sisters. So what will we do? We'll allow an oppressor to come back into the church with us again. You understand? You see how stupid that is. You see how dumb that is. Imagine a snake. Imagine you bring a snake into your house, and you bring the snake into your house, and the snake bites your child. You understand? And you get rid of the child, and you take you get rid of the snake, and you take it into the wilderness. Now, how dumb would you be to later on in life go and get another snake and bring the snake back into the house with more children? You don't care about the lives of those children. You don't care about the lives of them. And that one child who got bit, you didn't learn from him. You let him getting bit go in vain. It didn't matter that he got bit. You understand? Because you didn't love that child. If you loved that child, you would never bring another snake into the house ever again, because you wouldn't want another child to get bit. If you love Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians, then you would never join hand in hand with your oppressor. You would never join hand with them, because you would learn from Trayvon Martin, from these names that we can list that have been murdered from white oppression, man. You would learn from them that trusting our oppressor, it ain't gonna work. Our children are just gonna die. You understand? Tamir Rice gonna happen over and over and over again. You understand? This is gonna happen over again. There's gonna be more Kyle Rittenhouses. It's gonna be more George Zimmermans. It's gonna be more of them, man. You understand? Because we aren't learning from what the Lord is trying to show us. The Lord is trying to show us. The Lord say this, man. The Lord is puffing up the hearts of our oppressor, man, so that he could bring him down. But in him puffing up his heart, he is showing us who the devil is. It ain't a secret. It ain't Illuminati. It ain't what they call it? Yeah, the Illuminati, the masonry, witchcraft, and stuff that you got to go. If this ain't the national treasure hunt, that's right. You ain't got to go and uncover secret codes and messages for you to find out that our oppressor is trying to kill us, man. The Lord is showing you right in your face with Kyle Rittenhouse. Right. He's showing it to you in your face with George Zimmerman. He's showing it to you in your face. Anybody know that white woman name with Emmett Till? Carolyn Bryant. He's showing you right in your face that this oppressor hates you. You understand? We got it up? Yeah. Go ahead, play this, man. The Lord is showing you how much our oppressor hates you, man. So let me just share it so the people. That's an Italian woman. Ain't got the sound. Oh. I think because it's turned down, yeah. This is what they're doing for this brother. Because he's a murderer. Look at his name. His name in the goddamn American flag, right in the middle.
Should I be out of there?
How they chant his name? Kyle.
Yeah, so I get it. Now you would.
I thought that was a video. Go ahead.
Now you would think from that video, you would thought somebody won the election.
You would, yeah, he looked like the president.
Just looking at that,
like Joe Biden when he was younger. coming on stage, man.
Yeah, Joe Biden when he was 90 years younger. That's exactly what it is. Like, damn.
Yeah, Joe Biden, 90 years younger. You just seen it, man. But that's how America feels, man, about black people, man. You understand? For the time, say we gonna end it on this. But this is what America feels about black people. They feel that he is a hero because he went to a Black Lives Matter movement and he did what many white people dream of doing, which is why they love him. Which is why they love him so much. That he went and did what our oppressor dreams about doing. Can you imagine how many redneck oppressors look at those Black Lives Matter marches and they just dream of being able to go out there and just murder people and just shoot up the whole crowd? They dream of doing this. So to see him actually doing it and getting away from it, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is about to happen? What do you think? Oh, they're getting ready. You understand? Go ahead.
Like I was gonna say, that's a heavy point. They probably, I mean, this is like you say, you brought up early in the class. I see what you did, Otto. I see what you did.
What?
You talked about the concept of the nigger lover,
Right?
Early in the class,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like what they literally used to say this back in the day. They used to say, some old, John Wayne sounding cat would be like, the only thing worse than a nigger is a nigger lover, right? So it's like, okay, if I can't shoot a nigga, then the next best thing is to kill a nigga lover.
Right.
So this cat went out there to that protest.
Mm-hmm.
17, he like the rookie of the year.
He the rookie of the year. He
Rookie
new
of
to the game.
year. And he went out there and like, let me show you how to, you know what I mean? And laid down two devils who was, acting like they love niggas.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, to them, it's like, yo, this is like a wet dream. Like this is beautiful.
He done got his feet wet.
Right.
In the land of murder.
God.
You understand? And them devils, if them devils knew that they was gonna lose their life that day, they would not have went to protest. They wouldn't have gone. You understand? They were probably drunk out of their mind, just out there so they could probably loot and riot and get a flat screen TV when everybody starts going crazy. However, they lost their life for standing with niggas in the streets. You understand? And our oppressor is looking at this, and they are happy. They are happy because of this type. Like this shows you what America is about. America is about murder. It's about killing, and just being a monster on the earth to every goddamn body, which is why the Lord has to kill him. This is why the Lord has to kill our oppressor, man, and has to put him in chains, because this type of person cannot be puffed up.
That's right.
This is not the type of people who can be in charge of a nation of people. How can you be in charge of how can you, like, even if he got off for self-defense, fine, no sweat. But how the hell is him murdering two people in any way something that is commendable? Something that should be praised and worshipped as if he's goddamn Santa Claus coming down a goddamn chimney. What the hell does him murdering two people have to do with anything? You understand, GP?
See that, and that's the thing too. When I was looking at a trial, they wasn't really looking at it as murder. They looked at it as self-defense.
Good night.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's what I'm saying. When you're dealing with our oppressor's law, you got to listen to their words, because their argument they used was self-defense.
Right.
Well, even though we know what it truly is.
He wanted to kill people because if it was self-defense, he claimed that he was defending a car dealership. You understand? If he was really defending a car dealership, he would have stayed his behind at the car dealership, and he would have just left it at that. But see, we about to go ahead and clip this up, right? Just I want to read that scripture one more time because we over the time. You understand?
The book of Psalms, chapter 83, and verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Mm-hmm. Verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, man, with their laws and their religion and the way that they conspire against us. You understand? Keep going.
Come. And consulted against thy hidden ones.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
Come. Salakia. Mm-hmm. Verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. that the name of Israel may be no more in
That
remembrance.
the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance, man. This is what our oppressor is fighting for. This is what our oppressor wants, man. He wants to puff up the hearts of people like Kyle Rittenhouse so that they can go out and murder, so that they can go out and kill people, so that police officers will feel safer to shoot a black man in the back 12 times without the fear of going and being convicted. And I'm gonna end off on this. You understand? Even in the field of social work, we have to study. There's a thing called psychology, which is the study of the mind or the study of how people think or why they do what they do. And when they study criminals, right? When they go into the study of criminals and people who are at risk of being career criminals or juvenile delinquents, they look at their mind and what it is that makes a juvenile commit crime. You understand? And what it is that stops a juvenile from committing crime. Now, what this is a question for the class. What do you think, or what is it that they teach is what will stop a juvenile from committing crime? They got, it could be punishment, it could be you understand? I don't want to give it to you. What do you think will stop, what they teach will stop a criminal from committing crime? Sis?
Salakia, sir, I would say consequence, but the devil don't know no damn consequence. They not facing none.
But you own it. You close with consequences, but it's something before consequences. What stops a juvenile from committing a crime? Consequences is part of it. Punishment is the same as consequence.
Fear?
Fear of what?
Fear of consequences?
Consequences comes after this. This is what they teach in like juvenile delinquency classes and things like that. It comes after consequences. To have consequences, you have to be what? After you do a crime.
Accountability.
After you do a crime, you have to do what? You got to do what after you commit a crime?
Gotta get caught.
Be caught. The fear of being caught, you understand, is what will stop. Is what they teach will stop a juvenile from committing crimes, which is why to lower the crime rate, advancements in camera systems and things like that has skyrocketed. Now, with that being said, if the fear of being caught, which then leads to consequences, is lessened, then that will raise what? The crime rate, because people won't be scared. If you come out on the news and you say in the past 5 years, only 15% of murders went solved. You understand? 85% of murders went unsolved. That would then do what? That could make a nigga think, I could kill this person right here. I could probably get away with it. I can increase my chances of not having the consequences of committing a crime. So with that being said, when America is letting men like George Zimmerman and Kyle Rittenhouse get off for these terrible accounts of murder, they are only psychologically, they are giving more feed to a fire for people to commit more crime. Because when you see Kyle Rittenhouse gotten off, you'll think what? When you do the same thing, what do you think those oppressors are going to say? What do you think their lawyers are going to do? They're going to bring up this case. Right. They're going to say Kyle Rittenhouse versus so-and-so versus so-and-so. The trial was determined in this. He was determined not guilty in this. And he's going to say, well, in my case, I'm doing the same thing. I went out to a Black Lives Matter protest. I had an AR-15. As a matter of fact, I bought the same one he had. And I went out there and I waited for somebody to push me, and he pushed me to the ground. And because he pushed me to the ground, I murdered him just like Kyle Rittenhouse. So why would I go to prison? Right. And then when that man gets off, guess what? Oh, it's going to be hell is going to break loose. You understand? Which is why Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians should separate from our oppressor.
That's right.
You should see the madness in our oppressor, and you should separate from him before he goes and starts to kill himself. You understand? He is going to go and start murdering himself, and you don't want to be around that. You don't want to be at the stupid Black Lives Matter movement so you could be a victim of Kyle Rittenhouse. You don't want to be in the church praying so you could be a victim of Dylan Storm or Dylan, whatever his name is, Dylan Ruth Storm. You don't want to be a victim of our oppressor. So you should be in the protection of the Most High and the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana. And with that, I'm going to pass the class over to Priest and Officer Thabawan.
ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21. And Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Means 10th in Hebrew is pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation will be the Feast of Purim. All right, that's coming up in February. Get more information on that in the coming weeks. Want to remind Akim and Akwathan to check on social media. So that's isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he needs to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, I mod you.